Hey everyone, it's FLAK. Battlefield developers have been a bit busy since the launch of Battlefield 2042. Aside from fixing the game, it might have flown under your radar that there's a multi-studio effort to build a connected Battlefield universe. One of the bigger developments is that a single-player campaign is officially in the works. Battlefield 2042, of course, launched without a campaign, and both Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 1 focused on telling several bite-sized war stories. It's not clear how the new single-player campaign will connect with Battlefield 2042, but EA managed to hire Halo co-creator Marcus Leto to helm the project. I would assume you don't hire the guy who created Master Chief unless you have big plans for a single-player experience. The last time Battlefield had a traditional campaign was Battlefield Hardline in 2015, and it never gets enough credit. Leto's new studio is on a hiring spree, and digging into the job listings might help us piece together what might be in the works for this future Battlefield single-player campaign. One of the biggest job calls is for a design director. Reporting directly to the GM, their purpose is to orchestrate the mission design, narrative, game mechanics, and systems to create the highest quality experience possible. They will also embrace core tenets of the Battlefield franchise and make sure they are woven through all layers of a masterfully designed single-player campaign. Again, this sounds more substantial than just a tacked-on narrative or the bite-sized war stories we mentioned earlier. This position requires over 10 years' experience at higher levels of development and a passion and understanding of single-player campaigns and how to innovate within that space. The Battlefield Seattle studio is also hiring a lead level designer. The role overview asks, quote, "Do you dream of creating an amazing player experience through a set of carefully crafted levels that keeps the player wanting more after every mission?" So again, it seems like we're talking multiple missions here as part of a larger campaign. The listing also asks, do you relish the ways in which a player can use the game's sandbox, giving them agency to experience a level in many ways? This definitely sounds like developers are leaning more into Frostbite and its destructive capabilities, as well as giving players options on how to accomplish their missions. Interestingly, it also maybe seems to indicate replayability is a focus, which would be something new for a Battlefield campaign. Other duties of the lead-level designer include weaving the narrative through the single-player campaign so players experience memorable moments and characters with meaningful player engagement. The position requires multiple shipped AAA single-player titles. Similarly, Leto Studio is hiring a lead VFX artist with strong technical skills and experience with creating beautiful, chaotic, and realistic VFX in games. Of note, the position requires experience with industry VFX packages to shatter, simulate, flood, and set fire to in-game geometry in real time. It's been a long time since we've seen flooding in a Battlefield game, and so perhaps this indicates a larger focus on destruction than what we've seen in Battlefield 2042. The studio is seeking a cinematics lead as well. This position will help create an exciting, immersive, and memorable Battlefield experience. Experience with virtual cinematography and mocap is expected, and they will bear some responsibility for game cinematics as well as early cinematics for iterative process during development. Now, I mention this because the latter there is used to crystallize the vision for the game. It's a bunch of stuff done internally, and I've seen a few behind closed doors. This probably means whatever Leto Studio is working on is around a couple years away. There are numerous other positions available at the Battlefield Seattle studio, including quite a few with a focus on photogrammetry. That's not new, but it does indicate whatever we get down the road should at least look nice. So what exactly is Leto up to in Seattle? I think it's important to remember that EA is pushing this connected Battlefield universe. Whatever campaign they're developing will tie into other games in some way. The head of the Battlefield franchise, Vince Zampella, said in an interview with GameSpot, "In this universe, the world is interconnected with shared characters and narrative." Exactly what that means is anyone's guess, but given the multi-platform nature of Battlefield games in development, I think it's likely that they might be tied together by gameplay systems, cosmetics, unlocks, etc. We know of at least one other Battlefield game in development right now. It's a mobile title from Industrial Games. DICE allegedly remains committed to Battlefield 2042, and RippleEffect supposedly continues working on Portal. I would imagine both are also moving forward with future titles in some capacity in the meantime. Personally, I'm looking forward to a new single-player campaign. I find them very formative in appreciating the setting of the game's multiplayer experience, and it sells the rationale behind the in-game conflict. I think this is something that Battlefield 2042 is sorely lacking. Campaigns are also useful for teaching players about the game in a safe environment, and they also create lore, which is something that I just naturally gravitate towards. In the past, Battlefield's forte has never been single-player experiences. A notable exception to this would be Battlefield 3, which is widely regarded as the best campaign in the franchise. They've got some other gems under their belt as well as a company, right? The Medal of Honor series. Still, it does prove that EA can build a compelling single-player experience. I just hope developers are given enough time to make that a reality. That said, I don't think the Battlefield campaign will function like a traditional single-player experience. I can't imagine them releasing a standalone product without some kind of multiplayer component or a games-as-a-service connection. They're going to want some kind of return on investment, and I would assume a steady income stream. I also would imagine we'll learn more about Battlefield Seattle's project here in the future, but tough to make predictions without knowing what the teams at DICE and RippleEffect are up to, but at least some news in terms of the campaign, so it is looking like we're going to have something fully fledged with several missions, so that's some Battlefield news for you here today. I'm curious what your thoughts are on a new Battlefield campaign. Does it interest you at all? Do you have any predictions on what we might see with a new Battlefield campaign, how it might link into other parts of the franchise? Make sure you tell me down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If not, a dislike. Make sure to subscribe, tap the bell to get updates on all the latest Battlefield news. If you want to support the channel, keep your money, share this video, or check out some of our sponsors. And as always, thanks for watching.